and it's angled like that. So like you're holding a plate, right? So literally, actually we do have a plate here. Tan Sao is like holding a plate. Let's go over Sil Lim Tao, and we're going to make some corrections. Yeah, so one of you be on each side, so that way I can kind of be in the camera. So yeah, so just face me. We're going to go over the first section or so, and then we're going to make some corrections. As we make the corrections, we're going to get into more deeper explanation, right? So then the people at home can watch too and see. But we're going to go into deeper explanations on why we do things and how it might affect structure, right? And how the technique might work. So it kind of just depends on where we are in the technique, but in the form. But let's just start off and just kind of do a quick review of the first, I don't know, 25% maybe. So hands, right, feet together, hands to the side. Left over right, okay? And we're gonna, hope you're enjoying the content. If you do, please like and subscribe, it'd be very much appreciated. Also, if you're looking for some custom designed Energy Wing Chun t-shirts, please click in the description below. Thank you again, and back to the video. Pull the hands in, and we're going to pull it here, and then once we get here, you see how my elbows are kind of bent? From here, I want to use the elbows and shoot them out. Okay, and they should come out right about the center. And so from the side, it's not like this, right? It's, if I do it from, I don't want to hit that dummy there. It's here. You see how it kind of comes out? Okay, so here, and then watch my elbows, it comes out. See that? And see where it stops? One fist away. Very important, okay? This will be the measuring or the marker that we're going to use throughout Sil Lim Tao. Okay, so you don't want to be like this and go, oh, you don't want to be like this and be like this. Okay, see how crowded that is? Okay, it's here, here. One fist away. Okay, coming from your center. You don't want to be too high, all right? And we're going to, we'll back up and break up every little piece, okay? So we're going to just do that, left over right, here, back here, okay? Down, toes out, toes in. I'm going to step forward a little bit, okay. All right, again, same thing, this time we'll shoot it down, left over right. We'll come here, the right should be closer to the ground, okay? And back here, okay? We're going to go left punch, hand flowers or punch, hand, open, Hyun Sao, inside Hyun Sao, keep those elbows pointed down, pull back. Same thing on the right side. Hand flowers, Hyun Sao, back in, okay? We're gonna place the left hand in Tan Sao position, like it's holding a plate, right at your solar plex, okay? And now we're going to extend while keeping the center line. This hand sits on that center line the whole time, while the elbow's behind it, okay? See that? Where do we stop? One fist away. Correct, okay? All right, once we get to the one fist away, we're gonna inside Hyun Sao again, but we're gonna keep this. I don't wanna do this. So I wanna keep this structure, this angle, and Hyun Sao, so it hasn't moved, back to here, okay? All right, and then we're gonna pull back, okay? We're gonna do 3 Fuq Saos, okay? And we're gonna refine this, just gonna go through this right now. 3 Fuq Saos, 1, outside Hyun Sao, 2,
like do a chop, like I'll do a chop in the bottom.
3, okay? Let's get here, we're gonna inside pock to our armpit,
just hold it on to it.
back to the center, we're gonna palm strike, open up,
when you chop it down in the bottom.
just fist and back, okay? Same thing here. This time we'll just go through it real quick. Stays on the line. 1 Tan Sao, 2 Wu Sao,
Yeah, that's fine.
3 Fuq Saos. Ready? 1,
Actually, I want that
2,
relaxation no matter what. See, I didn't
3.
So I know
back here, inside pock,
and that's the hardest thing to do.
back to the center, palm strike, on the center, Hyun Sao, and back. Okay, all right. Everyone comfortable with that? So let's talk about it a little bit deeper now. Yeah, just so we have that initial part. So when we start here, right?
And I had it too for a long time.
We have two of these motions.
After that,
Right.
I kind of forgot about it. I lost
This
all
motion
attention.
we can use to like
Family.
block knees or yeah, right, knees, but
Just learn it from everybody.
I don't think it's ideal
Now I realize,
to
oh, that's
you're gonna most likely lose
So now,
like
now if I'm on the ball,
to a leg with the arm, okay? So to me, the better understanding of this motion, especially since you're usually introduced to it, it's the first form, right? The most important form though. But you're introduced to it in the beginning because there's a lot of things to understand in Sil Lim Tao, okay? And one of the first ones that you have to understand is Wing Chun is very elbow based and not wrist based. And what do we mean by that? So let's grab actually let's do this. So Eddie, why don't you come here? Michael, why don't you go here? Okay. I want you to just grab his arm, just like this, okay? All right. And I want him to escape. Okay. Not kicking, no headbutts, just with this arm. Like how right? So go ahead and do that and have him try to escape. Go ahead, try it. Okay. All right. So what did he do? Let me feel it. Oh, he might have cheated because he knows. Okay, go. Okay. So okay, good. So what did you feel? Oh, hold on. You do the same thing for him. And then let me feel his first real quick. Let me feel his real quick first, and then I'll have you do it. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna feel it quickly. Let's go. All right. Okay. All right. So I want you to break out. Okay. Good. All right. So I want you to feel it. Okay. Try to break out. Okay. You got it. Try again. One more time. Okay. Good. Oh, okay. All right. So what did it feel like?
I felt tension on my wrist.
In your wrist or his wrist?
My wrist.
You feel it in his wrist?
Well, when you lift it up, I felt it right here.
If you feel it, that means that he has tension. That he's creating that, right? Because if let me. So if you grab mine, and I did like, ready? And I did like this, you feel the leverage is here?
Yeah.
Right? So make sure you hold tight.
Okay.
Right? So I go like this, you feel right? You feel tension? If you feel tension, then usually it's the same place. Tell me if you feel tension now. Not much, right? Right?
It's different.
Yeah, it's different. Because right now, because I'm not controlling from that point. All right. So the main goal is that we don't want to control at the point of contact. Okay. So we want to use elbow and then forward. Right.
I see.
So the motion in this is here, right? And so watch the motion. The elbow flips. Okay. This is this motion, because if I fight contact, again, if it's strength against strength, then I'll use wrist tight. I'll use strength, right? Tight. If I use elbow, look, I can get ahead of him. Okay, you see how he can't control that wrist, because he's using that as a leverage point. I'm not using it as a leverage point. I'm using here. I can control that. So that's where the elbow flips, right? So it's here. So elbow's moving. Very important. So if we do it to him again, so once you grab it, okay? And this time when he goes, move the elbow in and then forward, not back. Right, so feel like this. So this is, so if I go like this and I go like this, you see how there's, right? So give me tighter. Or I can go like this, not strength. I can go like this, right? Because that didn't even work either. Right, hold it. So if I go like this, see how easy that is?
Because, but the last move was that you went forward after you.
I should be forward kind of all the time. Because if I don't have forward energy and I go like this and then I go like, you see how it didn't work?
Yeah.
Has to be forward all the time.
Yeah. Because I'm already inverted like this.
Yeah. So
you don't have leverage.
You don't have leverage because I'm getting here, slow-mo, and then, see even here. I could go like this. What does it feel like? Pushing on me a little bit. See how it's so weak?
Yeah, because you retracted your elbow in. I see.
Yeah, I got weak, right? So if I go like this, now you feel it? There's always forward energy, but it's not a stiff one, because if I turn and I go forward, now if he pushes back into me, he has more strength than me. See, it comes back. I don't care what he does, right? But the point is that I always have forward energy, right? And now if he pushes harder into me, yeah, it's going to absorb. But it's different than me letting him do that. You feel the difference, right? I'm pulling back and then he's taking my space. This one, I'm going forward, but he's overpowering this part. I don't want to resist him. I'm going to accept, right? Because I could easily do this.
I'm just dead.
right? So, but the point is, the principle is what we're trying to learn is that the elbow controls not the wrist. And
Be as soft as you can.
see,
You know what I mean? Like, you feel
right?
me?
So try a few times. You're gonna grab his wrist,
Okay.
be tight with it, like this, okay? So instead of leveraging from this point, elbow turns in and forward. See how his is going side to side? Tell me if it feels different. So we have this. So we have this. So there's this, okay? And then there's this. What does it feel like?
I feel the pressure when you just like.
Yeah, because he goes out. You see him goes off balance? Okay, so if I go forward, so he's already getting off balance. See, he's on his toes. If I go, and I'm not in a horse either, so I should be in a horse, but just for a demonstration. There's this. Now does it feel different? What does it feel like? Like a windshield wiper.
Yeah.
Right? Versus this and forward. No, that's not bad. Go ahead. Good. So I come in like this. Okay? All right. So you want that forward energy a little bit. That's this. But right? So give him. But it can't be too hard.
Both of us. But this is how I interpret it.
See how it's going. So here. What does it feel like? Does it feel like? So move this in. Yeah, better. Although it's over exaggerated, but all right. So you want to make sure that the first thing that turns. So watch. The first thing that turns is my elbow. See that?
Elbows in.
Yeah. Our elbow goes in. As it goes in, there's still forward energy. And then
my knees were better, but it's okay.
okay. So it's not, yours is like this. You get this, but then you go like this. It feels like it's like a windshield wiper, where I need to get here and then see how I can get him off balance. See his toes, right? So in reality, all I really want is here and boom, right?
Don't retreat.
Okay, but it's more about the principle, the elbow connection, right? So try again. So if you do it right, he should be on his toes. I mean on his heels. His toes should lift. So does it not feel like he goes sideways and then he goes forward? Mm-hmm. Okay, so as he goes, do you feel like there's forward energy right now? You're pushing a little bit? Okay, give it a little bit forward. Okay, good. Okay. Maintain that as this goes, but elbow first, and then keep that forward, and then, see, look at his toes go up.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. You want that forward energy, because if you go like this, because the problem if you go windshield wiper, right, and again, this is static right now, right? Come right over here. So this is static right now. If I go windshield wiper and I go like this, it's not horrible, right? Kind of seems okay. But unless remember everything needs to be dynamic over time, right? So if I get used to doing windshield wiper and then at some point he starts to push back into me, because right, he feels me moving and he doesn't like it, he pushes back into me hard, well, I'm the one going, right? If I have forward energy and at some point he pushes into me, what happened? I can absorb it, right? Does it feel different?
Yeah.
Right, because I don't have that forward energy. But is it super hard?
No,
It's like springy, like a spring. But it's so right now, my energy is able to hold the amount of energy given to me now. But if he pushes harder, watch what happens to my hand. See, but does it still feel like a spring? Always like a spring. He lets go and it recoils. Okay, so he's dealing with, the reason why that happens, my body is right now connected to his body. That's why he feels like there's something against him, right? Even now. So if he pushes into me, there's a springiness to it, like a resistance, but it's not like hard like that, right? It's enough to think that, hey, do you feel like in danger? Not really, right?
Yeah, no.
But this, you feel more in danger, right?
Yeah, I feel like I have to force back even more, and then
it's more power, right? So I accept what he gives me, and I can do different things to him. But the point is that you have to have a forward energy to maintain, instead of going windshield wiper, like sideways, right? Then it's very easy to push because there's no structure behind it. But after that movement, we got the punch, right? So when we do the punch, question, if you've only done Sil Lim the beginning a little bit, but have you noticed that we always punch from the left? Right? Why? Why is it always from the left?
Because most people are right-handed and don't expect the left.
You're pretty close. Pretty close.
You'll see the defense offensive.
He's pretty close. Right? So left hand. So most people are right-handed. It's not because they don't expect the left. It's because when we're doing anything, what do we tend to do? We always practice mostly comfortable things, right? And so if you're and you're right, like, so are you right-handed?
Yes.
Right-handed? Okay, so they say, I don't know what the exact statistic is, but it's at least 70 to 80% are right-handed, I think, something like that. If we started with the right, and then your mom goes, dinner time, and you go eat, well, so you just practice more on your right, which you're already comfortable with. So we start with the left. So you have,
Do like 3 to 4.
because we're more right-hand based, we want to get our left more comfortable doing things. Even the dummy is based as a right-handed dummy, right? And we'll go into that, but right, because you can tell by the height of the arms. A lot of, because also we do things in threes, okay? And threes has like a cultural meaning in Chinese culture. So when we're here, we'll put the hand here. Okay. And so the structure of so this is a tan sao. The tan sao has a flat hand and it's angled like that. So like you're holding a plate, right? So literally, actually we do have a plate here. Tan sao is like holding a plate. So you're holding a plate. If it's soft like this, how's it gonna hold? You probably can, but you still would need some structure to hold it. So you want a flat surface area to hold the plate. So place it here, holding the plate. How you want your hand to be is you want fingers to be relatively straight, right? But you don't want it to be super tight. See how that's so tight, right? Relaxed, but not this relaxed. Structured. Thumb, with the thumb to be tucked on the side, fingers straight, but not so tight where it's so stretched. Okay. Why do we want the thumb there? You'll see some people, they'll be like this. All right, so why? Some people like this.
You should attack the body.
Because the thumb can be jammed or it
Can get caught.
Yeah.
Right, if I go do something and, broken finger, broken thumb. Now, the reason why we want the structure is because later, as we get further into Wing Chun, we start doing like Chi Sao, Dan Chi Sao, and stuff like this. The structure of this is what will protect you over time. If you have like this, you see how, if I go like this, you see how there's not as much of that bend here? If I go, right? So I have to go like this and bend it like this. Or some people just go, like, because they want it soft. Yeah, we want it soft, but we also want it structured. We don't want it to be tight. Okay, so it's holding a plate, thumbs there. Okay, well, this still stays on the line. So you don't want, so if you start, even if you get your elbow behind it and you go like this, what's wrong with that?
You go down to the side.
I'm not on the center line, correct. Good, Michael. What's important, very important, because Sil Lim Tao is about center line. It teaches you center line. So understand your center line very well, which will then allow you to,
Your perception of reality.
like when your opponent goes off center line, then it becomes easier if you understand your center line really well. Right? If you don't know your center line and the other guy goes off center line, how will you know? What measuring tool are you using? All right, so you're developing this measuring tool, which I call the North Star. Right? North Star never moves. It's always there. It's your baseline. We're starting to develop that. See how the center line's right here? My hand will sit on that center line the whole time. Okay, you see how my elbows are going behind it? It's not this. You see the difference, Eddie? What's the difference between this one? Okay, this is the center line versus this one.
I try to always go to the center line.
Is that the center line? Kind of, right?
Kind of, but there's not a, it's not,
I
you're
try to me and that's fine. And then I go back.
yeah.
My elbow's too flared out. And we're gonna test that in a minute. Why it's important in Sil Lim Tao, keep it on the center line, right? And your elbows behind it. So it's almost like you're rubbing this elbow on your body until you start to expand out. And then you get to one fist away. Okay, well, this still stays on the line. So you don't want, so if you start, even if you get your elbow behind it and you go like this, what's wrong with that?
You go down to the side.
I'm not on the center line, correct. Good, Michael. All right, good. So we want to stay on the center line, elbow pushing, not the wrist dragging it. It's your elbow is pushing behind, like a rear-wheel drive car.